What's up, Miami Heat fans? This is Nic Rohloff of the Heat Report, and the NBA is trying to shadow ban the Miami Heat from trading from Damian Lillard, and it actually sickens me what the NBA did yesterday evening. And we'll jump right into the news here. And if you haven't seen, the NBA actually sent out a memo to all 30 teams in the league talking about what Damian Lillard and his agent Aaron Goodwin have done and how they are kind of condemning the actions that Damian Lillard has done when he comes to publicly saying that he would only play for the Miami Heat, and what Aaron Goodwin has done, and apparently calling teams, telling them do not trade for Damian Lillard because he will not want to play there, and it's only the Miami Heat. So I got some thoughts about this situation and the disgusting behavior of Adam Silver and the association. Let's just call it what it is here. It's kind of disrespectful to the Miami Heat. Listen, sure, is it tough that Damian Lillard is forcing his way out to the Miami Heat and he doesn't want to play for the Blazers? Sure, right? But here's the thing. The Blazers have had their chance to build a roster around Damian Lillard. Joe Cronin told Damian Lillard that he is going to use the 3rd and 23rd pick in this past NBA draft to make trades for veterans that could help the Blazers roster win right now. What did he do? He drafted Scoot Henderson and Chris Murray and did not do anything in free agency other than re-signing Jeremy Grant to a contract that is widely known as an overpay. So Joe Cronin made the bed. Now you gotta sleep in it. Don't get mad that Damian Lillard requested a trade. It was all of your doing. So there's number one. Number two, there has been countless stars in the association that have demanded a trade and basically made a list of 1 or 2 teams in the recent future. Let's look at back some recent stars that traded. Kevin Durant originally said Phoenix and Miami last offseason. No one batted an eye, right? He gets traded at the trade deadline this past season. Where did he go? Phoenix. It is so blatantly obvious that he only wanted to go to Phoenix in that situation. Let's look at what Anthony Davis. It was so obvious that Anthony Davis just wanted to go to the Lakers to play with LeBron James. LeBron James was so outspoken about wanting to play with Anthony Davis. What does league do? Nothing. Let's look at what James Harden's done twice. James Harden, in his first trade from Houston, demanded Brooklyn. Ended up in Brooklyn. No word from anyone else. Then guess what he's doing right now? Demanding a trade. And where did he say? The only place he mentioned was the Los Angeles Clippers. But sure, when Damian Lillard requests the Miami Heat, everyone goes up in arms. It brings back the Dark Knight. It's just like Joker spitting those bars for a second there. He goes if I tell you that a group of soldiers in Afghanistan are going to get blown up, no one makes a big deal out of it because that's standard quo. But then I mentioned one city official is going to die and everyone goes up in flames. It's just why is everyone getting so freaked out over Damian Lillard going to the Miami Heat? Is it that big of an issue? I don't think so. But I've got some more thoughts on this situation here in a second. But I want to tell you guys to hit that subscribe button because we're bringing you everything on the Damian Lillard saga. And we're talking everything Heat news, Heat rumors, Heat analysis. Yesterday's video was all about if the Heat could win the NBA Finals with Damian Lillard, Jimmy Butler, and Dame. I deep dove into some analytics over the past 10 seasons. We do it all here at the Heat Report. So make sure you hit that sub button right now. All right, so let's get into another piece that I wanted to mention, and it's the fact that Chris Haynes tweeted out that they interviewed, or in the memo, I guess I should say, they interviewed Aaron Goodwin, they interviewed Damian Lillard, and wanted to get the gauge on what they've said to other teams, and it was kind of a little bit of a mini investigation, if you will. And basically what has come out of it is that in that memo, they mentioned to Damian Lillard and to Aaron Goodwin that if you publicly make comments about only wanting to play for the Miami Heat again, he is subject to discipline from the NBA, which is very strange in my opinion. I don't really understand what kind of discipline would he get? Would they veto the trade, or would they suspend him? What are we talking about here? There are so many players, like I mentioned with Anthony Davis, James Harden, KD, that maybe they haven't been as public about it, but basically force their way in a trade. They request out, and then they force their way to the team that they want. KD with the Spurs or the Suns, Anthony Davis with the Lakers. What are we doing? Let's just be honest. This is a vendetta against Damian Lillard and the Miami Heat. I don't know why. It's just what did Pat Riley do? Everyone hates Pat Riley. I mean, is it just because the Miami Heat win all the time? I think that might be it. But then Sam Amico tweeted out this, which I had to share with you guys. He tweeted this out when Sham said his thing, right? He goes, I keep hearing the NBA would veto any Lillard trade to the Heat. Don't think that's entirely true, but it's what people around the league are telling me they foresee. Now, does Sam Amico have locked-in sources to where he's 100% accurate on this? I hope not, because if Damian Lillard gets traded to the Miami Heat and the NBA goes full Chris Paul Lakers and vetoes it, I think I might drive to Secaucus myself and have a word with Adam Silver at NBA headquarters. Because what? Veto a trade? Are the Miami Heat going to be the most OP team of all time if they get Damian Lillard? No. Did the Heat do anything wrong? No. The entire situation is coming from Damian Lillard's side. He's the one forcing his way to Miami. Obviously, Miami's interested and want to trade for Damian Lillard. But it's not like the Heat are going around sabotaging other teams. Damian Lillard and Aaron Goodwin are the ones that have been doing the entire thing. So why would the Heat get punished for trading for a player? They didn't do anything wrong. So I don't get where the vetoing would come from, and I don't foresee a veto happening either. I can't remember off the top of my head if it's happened really any other time other than Chris Paul. Maybe I'm going to get flamed in the comment section here for not really remembering history in the 90s, 80s, but I just remember the Chris Paul situation, which is pretty wild, but I don't see a veto happening, so if you're a Heat fan concerned about that, I don't really think it is, but what this tells me is that a trade between the Heat and Blazers for Damian Lillard is inevitable. I don't think this memo gets put out if it's not going to happen, right? I also don't think this is going to discourage a trade from happening, because all it does is tell me that Damian Lillard and Aaron Goodwin stop publicly going to people and telling them you don't want to play for them unless it's the Miami Heat. I think that's it. It's only the public comments that are making the NBA and teams shake their heads, I should suppose. And one last thing I'll mention before we head out on here is that I think this is all the Portland Trail Blazers doing. And I think I've been pretty vocal about how Joe Cronin is disliked on the Heat Report by me for a multitude of reasons. One, that he's not negotiating with Pat Riley. He's complaining about Damian Lillard requesting a trade, even though, as I mentioned at the top of the show, it's his own fault. You made promises to Dame about what you're going to do to the roster to make it a championship contending team, and you did none of that. So that's on you, man. Don't start crying to the league because you didn't do your job and couldn't hold up your word. And I believe that the reason why the NBA sent out this memo and wanted to get this message across is because the Blazers, Joe Cronin, and their front office, their ownership, started complaining and basically wrote to the league and said, you have to do something about this because this is unethical. You know what's unethical, Portland? Failing your organization's best player of all time. That's unethical. Why wouldn't you, if you wanted to keep Damian Lillard, why wouldn't you actually try to build a team around him? It's flat out just the cold hard truth. It's called a spade a spade. You made your bed, now you gotta sleep in it. Use that analogy twice now. I think that's really the only case here. It's going to do it for today's show. I just had to come on here on a Saturday and just give you my quick thoughts about this entire NBA memo and how the Heat are potentially going to get punished for trading for Damian Lillard, which is complete utter bullshit. But I'll let you guys decide on your own, and we'll have to see how this saga unfolds. So make sure you do hit that sub button because we're going to keep you updated on anything Damian Lillard from now into the future. So I'll head out of here by saying this. Go Heat. Peace out. Damian Lillard. I'll see you in the 305 come October.